All right. Let's see here. Should be good right there, I'd say. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully Thanksgiving was good. I believe this is live stream number 39. How we doing, Bobby? Yeah, we gotta lower that. All right. We do have to lower that some. Have you ever had the turbo well drain tube crack? Not the OEM one. I never had that problem though. I've pinched one before, like I bent it too much and I kind of fucked it up, but I gotta lower this even more. It should be good right there, honestly. See how that is. How's the audio and everything? Should be good right there, huh? Is that good? How's everybody doing? Let's get everybody up in here and chill out on a Friday night, Black Friday. Let's see here. We'll dismiss that. We don't want extra ads because we don't want that. Was it been 2 weeks since I've been live? So I'm gonna drink some good old water while we chill out. Yeah, so I think this is live stream number 39, day after Thanksgiving. And so yeah, we're just we had a really good Thanksgiving yesterday. We had a 27-pound turkey, so that was pretty crazy. All the normal fixings, the pies and whatnot. But yeah, I'm honestly ready to go back on a diet and fucking, lose some weight. I've been kind of horrible with my diet. Not like too crazy. I mean, I'm not drinking like a lot of soda and shit. It's just, I just need to cut calories again and get back down. So, honestly, I didn't really eat a whole lot, even for Thanksgiving. Normally I eat more than I do, but yeah, I probably ate like 700 calories worth of leftovers today. But the biggest thing is I haven't really been drinking enough water. So I like to get a gallon in me every day if I can. So once I can start doing that again, it's easier. How you doing, Roman? How we doing? How big was everybody's turkey for Thanksgiving? Do you guys know how big of a turkey you guys had, or just curious on what everyone had? It was the biggest one we've had by far, for sure. It was kind of crazy finding a 27-pounder. So we had a 25-pounder that was cooked while I was in Oklahoma, and she cooked that, and then she cooked this 27-pounder for Thanksgiving. It's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's very hard to find a turkey that big in a store, honestly. I feel like, I mean, a normal grocery store, but two 15-pounders, hell yeah. I got fucking, I just ate some pies before I got on, and I was just adjusting some stuff, kind of messing around with some things before I went live. I was gonna go live at 6:30, but I'm like 20 minutes late just because I had to deal with some things here, and I didn't want to do it live on stream. So yeah, I'd rather just. We got a haircut. Let's see, last week I believe it was before. Yeah, so we got a haircut, but we didn't. I had a pretty good beard for like November. I wasn't really trying to do the whole no shave November thing, but it was pretty big in terms of like how I usually have it. But yeah, so I shaved that, and yeah, we got a haircut, so we're more aerodynamic than ever. So yeah, now I just gotta fucking diet and we're good. But progress update on the 2.4 build, I would say we are waiting from EMS for the 2.5 Duratec crankshaft, and that's getting keyed. I sent that out to them 3 weeks ago now. It should be coming back, I would hope, next week. I'm going to contact them. I have their number, but so I had that keyed. The gear, I sent the gear out, and then I also sent the harmonic balancer out to get keyed. So that's all going to get, matched up. And they're giving me a split key design. So now instead of being a solid keyway, well, not the keyway, but the key itself, it's going to be a split design. So that way there, if the harmonic balancer bolt, the crank bolt, loosens up, I'll never have that issue with it fucking up the the keyway like it did last year. But we're using a OEM crank bolt this time around, so we're not going to use a brand new ARP crank bolt. So there's nothing wrong with the ARP crank bolts. It's just I don't think you can use them as many times as like I did. I probably untorqued it and retorqued it probably more than 5 times. And when you're pushing that amount of horsepower, I think it just reached the limits. I think it's not really so much the bolt, it's the washer that they use. It just doesn't clamp down as much. And then obviously the torque rating isn't as good, but so you have a coolant leak somewhere, it's bad. Too bad it's cold on the track. I would check the firewall. That's usually the first place I'd check is the firewall, your heater hose lines. Those are known to fucking fail. There's an O-ring that's in there, and then the next place I would check, other than the turbo lines, would be the reservoir, the plastic reservoir manifold on the side there, between the high pressure fuel pump and the vacuum pump. Yeah, so that's how I'd check. The black car had a bad coolant leak when I started it up, and no, sorry, no, it wasn't when I rebuilt it. It was before I rebuilt it. I noticed the lines were bad and I had a coolant leak, I believe, something like that. Or maybe it's when I rebuilt it and I fucking started up and noticed the leak, and so I had to replace the lines, and then I just rigged it up to make it work better than that bullshit. So I end up, if you can find a way to remove those ends on your hoses and just get like a clamp, like one of them butterfly clamps, and tighten it on there, you can literally just stick it over the sleeve there, or the flange, and then you never have to worry about that bullshit again, instead of buying the crappy design replacement. You know what I mean? Because it's going to fail again. It's just an O-ring that fails. Obviously, it's not a very good O-ring, right? It's probably not even Viton. It's probably a cheap Buna material or something, or EPDM, who knows. what it is. But yeah, glad your car is running good. How you doing, Hunt? How you doing, buddy? Hopefully everybody's Thanksgiving was good. Make sure to drop a like in the stream. We have 1 like right now, so we have 6 people up in here. Don't forget to drop a like. I'd greatly appreciate that. Yeah, also, let's see. Hey, Squared Motors, how you doing, buddy? Same shit just happened to me. Blew it off. Pissed me off. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's weird. I haven't had one fail on the white car, but I've replaced it. No, even though it didn't really need to be replaced, it's kind of weird because I really didn't know that was even a thing when I did replace it. Brian, yeah. How you doing, Brian? Um, and so yeah, I just replaced mine. I don't know. But yeah, I'm thinking of either just deleting those or something. So we'll see. But yeah. Finally bought my clean 2550 kit with arc downpipe. Yeah. Cold side adapter for it. Call max support. Hell yeah, that's awesome. I bet you that's gonna rip. Are you doing revisions right now, or what's going on with that? Apex just released the 55, 58 Apex. Okay, nice. That's cool. Hell yeah. Waiting for the parts getting done. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm waiting literally. Okay, so I got my injectors. So kind of give you guys a reason why what didn't go live last week was last Thursday I decided just to kind of get away from Vermont for a few days. Brought my son and my mom. We went down to Oklahoma, helped some family friends with some stuff, visited. It's warmer, it was 65 degrees. If you guys have me on Facebook, you probably saw the pictures and the story. Yeah, so we helped with decorating some Christmas stuff that I needed helping with. And yeah, it was just pretty cool to get away. And we were down there for 4 days and kind of like a mini vacation. My son was off on vacation for school. So we drove down, drove back, came back ahead of some storms that were starting up on Monday night. And I think we left at 3 p.m. Monday. Got here, it's a 25-hour drive. I got here in 26 hours because I took a 40-minute power nap. So I drove 26 hours nonstop, but I took like a 40-minute power nap, which is nothing. So, um, but yeah, so yeah, it was good. It was fun, you know. No, it's all right. Don't worry about it, buddy. It's okay. I know it's you. No. I I just get honestly I just say squared motors. I didn't really realize it was you until you know what I'm saying. It's all good, don't matter. Um but yeah, I'm just waiting. So when I got back, I had gone so if any of you guys have done like a DIY for a radium fuel kit, which is like what I'm doing, um, they don't include the fucking dash 8 AN orb plug. So you have to buy that separately, which I think is kind of stupid, being how much you got to pay for it. But I bought it from Radium, so that came in when I was gone, and then the injectors from Stratified came in, and I actually found out that the injectors at Stratified that he uses aren't like legit Bosch injectors, even though they're. I mean, I'm kind of a little worried about it, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. because they're not real Bosch injectors, but they are matched for flow, or flow matched, whatever the hell he does with them. So I mean, apparently they're pretty legit, but it's like, you know, I kind of worry about off-branded fucking injectors in my setup. So if I don't know, I might end up buying some fucking Beachworks 90-pound injectors. So yeah, I went. So yeah, I drove right through Ohio. Um, Gas was really cheap down in Oklahoma. It was like 230, 240. The cheapest I saw was 217 at the Walmart there in the Yukon, right outside of Oklahoma City. Um, it was so cheap. Can you change them? I can change the injectors, yeah. I actually installed, so I can show you right now what they look like. So I'll show you guys my fuel setup here. So these are the injectors. I mean, they look legit. You know what I mean? They have all the writings on them and shit like that, like a Bosch injector. But apparently they're not like actual Bosch injectors. And Alex didn't want to tell me where they're from. So, I mean, I'm sure he's probably sold a bunch of these to a bunch of people and they haven't had problems. So I trust him, but I just don't like running cheap shit a lot of times. So, you know, I don't know. But you know, we'll probably just roll with it. But this is everything installed, and then I had to get this stupid plug right there because it doesn't come with the fuel rail kit, and then obviously the injectors are separate. I got this right here, so I think this is like a 180-6 barb. So we're gonna run the line up here. But yeah, it's pretty neat, you know. Fuck it. I mean, I'm gonna DIY everything in terms of that, you know. So, you know. Let's see here. That's cool. And that's. Huh. Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, Texas is going to be about the cheapest. There's some other states that are cheaper, but it's pretty rare. Um, so Ohio is, I don't know, Ohio's gas is surprisingly more expensive than I always remembered. I don't know why. Uh, yeah, they're 14 millimeter shorty injectors. They're the EV14, Brian. Those are EV14. So for the radium fuel kit, the fuel rail, you need the EV14s, and they're 40 millimeter long injectors. Um, yeah, Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas. I mean, all the big oil producers, you know, Texas and Oklahoma being pretty much one and two. And then you got probably Colorado. Ohio does a little bit. Pennsylvania does, but it's like, you know, the closer you get to north, the more expensive the gas is usually. Or if you get closer to California. Um, Unfortunately, this is the way it is. So, but yeah, I think it was like 303 for gas. I noticed at the Loves. That's usually where I start. I mean, on every trip, I'll go to a Loves because I get the app. You scan it, and then you get 10 cents off. It's pretty neat. Well, yeah, I mean, if anybody needs any 95-pound injectors, I'll probably sell these ones. And I don't really want any that big, but I might end up getting some Beachworks injectors. Yeah, well, no, I definitely was gonna go port injection either way, Brian. I don't do direct injection upgrades in terms of that goes. So I don't do that stuff. I did port injection from 2021 on, and I like it. So that's the route I'll decide to take. What I didn't decide on, and this is probably where you got confused, was what controller I was going to use on my pore injection kit. That's probably what you probably got confused on. But yeah, I mean, but I knew what I was going to do in terms of what I wanted. I just didn't know if I was going to go with a 65-pound injector or 95-pound or 90-pound, something like that. But yeah, I don't need nothing too big. You don't want nothing too crazy. A 1650 would be too much anyway. You know, I mean, these are 950 cc's, so plenty enough. So everybody's Thanksgiving was good. You guys hang out with the family, everyone, or you guys kind of just laid low and chilled out. We had so I got back and we had a dinner on Wednesday, and then we had another like actual Thanksgiving dinner here with the 27-pounder, and yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Now we're just waiting. So we got the injectors, we got that. The four port is pretty much all set up. I just gotta make the lines for it. I'll literally make the lines for that when everything's installed on the car. I think I'm gonna wait, so that's very easy. Michael, good. How you doing, man? Hopefully your Thanksgiving was good. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna wait for all that to be installed, and I'll mock up some lines. And speaking of that, so we have some more upgraded purge lines left. We have the Black Friday deal still going on. $250 for the Black Friday deal. Normally they're $260. So that's including shipping. And yeah, so we have three of them sitting right here, ready to go if anybody's interested. And you know, so and when I think we can make like I think 8 more. I have quite a few parts like to make more. Um, I think I had a whole batch of 10 I was gonna make, and then we sold a few, and we have some left here, and then we have December's batch that's gonna be ready to go. So but yeah, Black Friday, yeah. I mean, Black Friday, I don't know. It's not like it used to be like 20 years ago. I remember working at Sears, and I don't know if anybody in here remembers 20 years ago how Black Friday was, but back then it was so much different. You know what I mean? Just the anticipation of saving money and shit like that. So, I mean, I woke up at 3 a.m. just to go work and I was warehouse and delivery mostly. And Black Friday, we started at 3 a.m. and literally opened our doors, I think, at like 4 a.m. or some shit. And, or 5, I don't know, something like that. And it was crazy because it was a small Sears, like a local small Sears. It was awesome. I mean, the pay I was getting above minimum wage, but, back then, but I was only 19 years old too. So, just right out of high school. And yeah, I helped out with some sales that day, kind of just like move things around, fridges and shit like that, kind of just move stock around. If somebody needed a vehicle loaded, that's what I did. So yeah, I'd offload the truck. I tell you what, the Black Friday truck that comes and you have to offload it, that's a fucking pain in the ass. I mean, because it was literally like almost a full, you know, load for just that store, offloading it for orders and shit like that. It was insane. I mean, fridges and, you know, all the appliances. So yeah, it was a lot of work for that. You know, I think I did it for 9 months, something like that. I might have to freaking go to the bathroom because I had some pie and now it's wanting to go Taco Bell out my ass. So, damn. And I got fucking like gas in both ends here. It's not good. But yeah, we had for pies, we had homemade peanut butter pie and then we had homemade chocolate cream pie, pumpkin pie, you know, all the good stuff. And then I think, yeah, so we're just waiting for the EMS, so the crankshaft be, you know, shipped back to me. And then I'd say we're going to start really rolling in building this car. So I got the axles I needed. I didn't get anything special. I can show you that guys them if you want, but I just got the same axles that I had on the car last year, but I put them on the black car. But they're just like an OEM replacement axle, really, from what the hell is it? Parts Geek, yeah. So, yeah. So we got those. I mean, we're fucking rocking and rolling. I just need the crankshaft, and then we can literally just send the fucking engine block and everything I need to the machine shop. I'll have them machine it. Oh, I also got a I got a MAP performance fucking, here, I'll show you guys this. Here, hold on. So I got a torque plate. So, yeah. We're not screwing around with this engine build, I can tell you that. We're not screwing around. So we got a torque plate right here. It's all billet aluminum. So billet aluminum torque plate for the 2.0 and 2.3 EcoBoost. So that's gonna be awesome. That's just gonna help with the honing process, the boring process. It's gonna make those cylinder walls more cylindrical, more straight. That way the rings will seal better. That's what it's for, mainly. Just to have, perform way better. There'll be better compression overall, better efficiency. They'll last longer because the rings will seal better and more efficiently. It's just, it's something that I've been wanting to get, and I just didn't get it yet. But yeah, so I finally got it, and for every build that I have in the future, this is going to be used, so, yeah, it's awesome. That's another thing that I got right there, So, MAP performance. Let me see here. let me see. Is this? Let me raise this down a little bit. I think. All right. What is this? Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right. How much was that? I don't know. If you go to their site, you can see. I think it's like $400, something like that. I already have the MAP Performance rear main seal. Yeah, I already have that. I got it actually last year. No, I'm not gonna rent it out. Unfortunately, no. I can't rent that out. Let me see. I think it's let me look on their site. They probably have a better deal today because of Black Friday. Yeah, let me see. EcoBoost. Yeah, it's $375. It's right here. Can we do how much? This is the one I got right here. Let me see. Let me share it with you guys. That's the link right there for the fucking torque plate. Wait, did I pay? Huh. It's normally $500. Right now it's $375. I don't know if that's because of Black Friday or not, but honestly, to me that's worth it. Honestly, I mean, you can't beat it. I think it's worth it. I mean, it's billet aluminum. I mean, that's why it's not cheap. It's billet aluminum. So, I'd rather have that one than the Massive Speed Systems one. Wait, Hayash's wasn't the rabbi. The hole in the catch can. Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. Your front wheel bearings are shot. Damn. Hmm. That's crazy. Let's see. We got 4 likes. We got like 7 people up in here. See if we can get it to 10 likes. That'd be awesome. That'd be greatly appreciated. The more likes that we have, the better the algorithm, and it'll actually show up. The live stream will show up on people's feeds, and it'll actually boost the algorithm for us. Over there, we get more newer people or whoever. They'll be alerted, and they'll see, oh, hey, there's a Focus SD live stream on. They'll come in, and if they have questions and want to talk with everyone, we can, and that's what it's all about is getting new people up in here and ask questions and chill out. How we doing, man? How we doing? Antonio. I'm just gonna call you Antonio, is that right? By the way, I just want to shout out all the my members basically. Tony's fine. Okay. Oh yeah. I want to shout out all the members, all the paid members. Thank you very much for supporting me and supporting the channel, helping me get extra things that I probably would never otherwise get in terms of the build. Like the MAP Performance, torque plate. You know, that helped out, you know, with that. You guys helped out. And just all your guys' support, you know, buying the purge lines and supporting the channel in every way possible really helps out with stuff like that. Little extra stuff like that, it helps out. Because otherwise, normally I wouldn't get that stuff, you know what I mean? How you doing, Mike? Hopefully, your guys' Thanksgiving was good. And, you know, it's cold here. It's 25 degrees, cold as shit. So we warmed up the garage to 80 degrees before we started the stream. It's down to 70 degrees right now, 71. Oh no. I went to the track, but my clutch left the chat. Hell yeah. That's awesome. What, not really, by the way. Just fucking, so what clutch do you have? I mean, is it stock clutch or okay? Yeah. So when I did my 12.8 quarter mile in 2018, my first pull doing that 12.8, then I did a second one, my clutch fucking was starting to slip. I stopped clutch. Had 46,000 miles on it. And, you know, the car was healthy, but it was like the clutch just had enough. You know, I was making 350, 360 at the wheels, you know, at that time. And the first pass was good. No signs of slipping. You know, we did a 12.8 at 115. And then that was my best time I've ever done with it. Haven't gone back since. I'd like to eventually go back and get like a updated time, you know, just update it and, you know, beat my personal best. So, you know, eventually. Huh. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think, let's see. 2018. Yeah, so that was about 30,000 miles of big turbo on that clutch that I had when mine went out. 30,000 miles, big turbo, and the rest was stock turbo. Something like that. My spec stage 3 plus clutch wasn't bad, but I just didn't want to keep using it. It didn't look good and when I took it out of the car, but I just didn't want to keep using it. I got an ACT Extreme Street clutch, and that's what we're gonna basically roll with for, you know, this build here. So hopefully it you know, lasts for a while and we don't have to worry about it. I don't know if anybody up in here has a ACT Extreme Street style clutch. It's a sprung clutch. So, you know, really the only thing I'm kind of worried about on it is the spring, you know, popping out. But other than that, you know, it's pretty much, you know, whatever. But one last Friday made 1407. Wow, that's good. Okay. 111. Damn. I'm late to the party. Now you're not late to the party. We're 39 minutes in. We're fucking just getting this party started, Predator. Welcome to the fucking live stream. Glad you're here. Hopefully Thanksgiving was good. So what clutch for Maras with G30? I would say, dude, honestly, I was gonna go with a twin disc. I'm like fucking, I don't know, dude. I just didn't want to run into any headaches with a twin disc with more bullshit. more moving parts. I don't know how much power. I mean, it's a G30 660 or 600, whatever the hell it is. And so yeah, I mean, I would say the ACT that I have is honestly enough. I have. Let me see. Do I have? What is the part number on that? Here, let me see if I can look it up. But I mean, yeah, if you want to go with it, I mean, a twin organic clutch, I mean, by all means. I hear that the that one is good, but you know, doesn't matter. I didn't really want to go that route yet. I was thinking of going twin disc, but I was like, man, I don't know. Which one is there? Let me look up my order. I'll tell you guys. Just so you guys know, if for like fucking Black Friday stuff, if you guys are looking for a Black Friday deal, I just got some WeatherTech floor mats for myself, and they're 10% off right now, I think, or something like that, or more, or 15 or something like, or 10% or whatever for Black Friday. They normally don't do it, but yeah, so saved quite a bit. So if anybody is interested in getting any WeatherTech floor mats, now's the time to do it, because otherwise you're paying full price the rest of the time. Bought XDI Evo pump, 15% off, no shit. Yeah, I pretty much got. Oh, I got the controller on the way too. So I got the stratified controller, the newer one. He came out with. It's released. It's on his site. I can provide a link if you guys want. But yeah, so I bought it. It's on its way. Plug and play harness. No soldering bullshit. Nothing like that. The only thing with plug and play harnesses, I feel like it's gonna have more of a mess or clutter. And I was wanting to actually like um kind of do, I don't know if I was gonna do a wire tuck on my build, but I was thinking of doing something to clean up the engine bay more. But with something like that, I really can't. I'd have to solder it, you know what I mean? To do the wire tuck, but let's look up, where's ACT. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, so the clutch that I got it from JST. So I'll give you guys a link. Apex, if you want the link, I can give it to you. But it probably has a deal on it too. ACT. Here it is right here. How do we share this? We can't share that. What the fuck? Well, okay, so if you go on ACT, okay, this is the clutch. I'll give you guys the part number. You should have the part number here somewhere, right? Well, let me see, ACT. This is the clutch I got. It doesn't have the part number, but I can get you the part number. It's 1656. I don't know if there's a Black Friday deal or not on that, so unfortunately, I don't know. Doesn't seem like there is. Wait, what? Okay, wait. I'm thinking going with a comp clutch, stage 4, sprung clutch. I heard, okay, so the competition twin disc was good, but apparently they stopped making them. Yeah, it's got a single mass flywheel here. Hold on. This is the clutch right here. Let me get you the part number. So, XTS, okay, FF5. Okay, this is the part number right here. FF5 XTSS. Yeah, that's it right there. That's the clutch that I have. It's got a steel single mass flywheel, which is better than aluminum. And but yeah, so I don't know. Is the stage 4? What's a stage 4 one look like? Let me see here. Focus ST. Is that a puck clutch? See, I didn't want a puck clutch. I wanted a full disc, full face disc clutch with a steel mass flywheel. And what's nice about this ACT flywheel is you can actually use the ARP flywheel bolts where, you know, my spec one I couldn't, OEM one you can't. There's certain flywheels you actually can't make the ARP bolts work. So, same 20,000 muscle strong. Yeah, see, that's why I didn't want the six. I didn't want a 6-puck because it doesn't. I mean, this to me, it's not gonna last as long usually. It has better performance, better grabbing power, whatever, but not interested in a 6-puck for my car. And it's really not very street friendly either. No, it did not come with ARP bolts. I have some, and I haven't been able to use them. They're brand new. I haven't been able to use them because fucking they don't work with my previous setups. Oh hell yeah, that's awesome. Hey, whatever, it's fucking cheap, right? So fuck it. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna be honest with you, like this ACT full sprung, full face disc clutch, I believe is gonna be the best for a full face with a steel flywheel kit. I think it's the best one out there for a single, you know, disc clutch setup. The spec clutch, those clutches are nice. There's nothing really bad with them. The only problem is I don't like the flywheel. I don't like the billet aluminum flywheel that they have. They're too much chatter in terms of the gear rattle. Not so much like clutch chatter. There's not really noise in that department. But with the gear rattle, I'm just not liking that too much. So going from 9.5 pounds to 14.5 is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be better. Yeah. I mean, a full disc, full face disc with a steel flywheel, I'm sure it's not going to rattle too much. Hell yeah. I got it. I mean, if you go through JST, I mean, I don't have a fucking thing for it. I got it for pretty cheap. I'm not gonna lie. I got my clutch for under $1,500, and I was allowed to use my code for somebody else because they wanted that clutch and they used it. So I mean, maybe he can give you a good deal if you just say, hey, WhiteBlurr sent me, whatever. I don't get nothing out of it, but I'm just, sending people his way for this clutch or something. JST hooked me up. So if you guys want to look into that clutch, I provided the part number up there. Or if you want some other clutches, whatever, but maybe he'll give you guys a discount if you ask for it. But hey, I'm a subscriber of WhiteBlurrst, on YouTube. He sent me to you. Maybe you can, provide like a 5% discount or some shit. I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, any discount's better than nothing, right? I mean, so, oh, my brand new buckets came in, by the way. If you guys want to see a comparison from the S-Slinger buckets to a normal OEM bucket, let me know. I'll show them to you. So those came in as well. My spec'd out buckets for the RS head. I spec'd out. Javin, how you doing, man? Happy Thanksgiving. If you increase the idle RPM, you don't get much chatter at all. Yeah, for sure. And especially, I mean, my billet aluminum flywheel, I didn't really get idle chatter. That's the thing with the spec Stage 3 Plus. I never had any real noticeable noise on idle. It was all about when I decelerated down a hill or some shit, I'd hear the gear rattle, and that's mostly because I had the motor mounts upgraded and shit like that too, so that you can hear it better that way. You hear everything in your transmission, so. And then obviously the flywheel being a single mass billet aluminum flywheel, that's 9 pounds, or 9.5 pounds. It's so light. There's, a steel flywheel. That's why I went with the ARP one. Oh, sorry, not ARP, ACT. Because it's a steel flywheel. It weighs almost 15 pounds. I think the dual mass flywheel weighs like, 30 pounds. So it's still half the weight, but it's a steel flywheel, so it's going to be better. It's going to engage better. It's just going to have, more, it's just going to be better overall. I feel like for noise and shit, just for what I want it for, you know what I mean? And I feel like this clutch, I made a unboxing video. You guys will be able to see it. It won't release until, I think, January. But, yeah, it's 18 pounds for the comp clutch. Hell yeah. That's a steel flywheel too, isn't it? It's got to be. But here, let me see. Where is here? So let's I haven't done a video on this, I probably won't, but we're pretty much unboxing the S-Slinger buckets. Yeah, Bobby's got a really good setup. You're gonna like his. He's got a pretty nice setup as well. So, he's making some pretty good power with it. There we go. So this is the package from S-Slinger. If you guys ever want to get buckets, right there. And then these, I feel are better than OEM ones. And I'm going to show you why. So those EMS DLC coded fucking buckets? I feel like these are the buckets that they use. Oh, actually, no, these are... Oh, shit, these are... wait a minute. Oh, these are all Ford ones. Oh, yeah. Maybe they're just, okay, never mind. Wait, let me see here. Yeah, I don't remember mine being packaged like that, but. Let me see here. Okay. Maybe change things up or something. Let me look at this. Or is it just updated design? This is different here. Maybe, hold on. I'm not going to open all of them up. Yeah, this is definitely different. So these buckets are different than they used to be. Okay, so look at it. I don't know, maybe it's because it's brand new. But, okay. So yeah, it's got to be because it's brand new. Yeah. So this is a brand new bucket. This is a used one. I don't know if you can see. This is the used one. Okay. You got your number in the bottom. This is a 362 bucket. Okay. This is a brand new one. It's got a little number on the top, stamped on there. And then it's got obviously no wear. This is a 202 bucket on the bottom. And yeah. So I'll be right back, guys. You can chat up. I gotta go bathroom. The pie and the whipped cream are going right through me. So yeah, just fucking keep chatting. Drop a like on the stream. I'll be right back. I'm not gonna run an ad or anything like that. You guys can just keep going. I'll be right back in like 5 minutes, 8 minutes. Okay. 630. I think he's got the 82 or something bigger AR, but or 72 AR or something. I don't know. There, I'm back. We had the explode the toilet after eating some pie and whatnot. So let's see here. Yeah, if you guys ever watched Rocket Power on Nickelodeon back in the day, that's what, my stomach was feeling like. So I had to leave. It was an emergency. It was definitely rocketing its way out. New bill. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so that's awesome. Yeah. I have some cans. Also forgot to mention. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, if you rev it to 8,000, you can have 138. That's pretty crazy, honestly. 8,000 RPM. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for maximum miles per hour, then for sure, those are the way to go. My cams are stage 3, but they're a BP 280 cam. So normal stage 3s are 285, but because I'm running a 2.4, Speed Performance says that the 285s don't work. So yeah. Running 23 psi with a BNR stop block. Okay, so you're like, what? That's 350 maybe. Run a smaller AR because I'm stock internals. Yeah, I mean, running a small AR, I mean, really you're just increasing the back pressure. If you want to retain spool, then for sure it's better. You don't want, all that lag. But yeah, I always favor the bigger AR stuff, but yeah. Yeah, I definitely won't be revving to 8,000 RPM. So I have no interest in that personally, but it's pretty cool though. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, another 1,000 RPM. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, if you go built motor, bigger AR makes sense, I guess. But I think you can just swap out your turbine housing anyways and do that. So it's not a big deal when you go to do that. So that's one nice thing about the exhaust housing AR swaps. You can just swap them out. I went with a 105 AR with my 56.62 because of the 2.4 stroker. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have some nice top end, just like the G35 900, but it's gonna spool a little bit quicker. So that's the goal and the whole idea of it, because it has a smaller inducer size than a G35 900. So yeah, it'll be it's gonna be fun. I'm thinking, so I'd like to get the engine all put together in February. I'm thinking February. That's my timeline. Have it all together in February, or start doing it in February, and then I'll do like an updated timing video. And then a couple other videos I'll do. How to install an intercooler. Now, when I do the install on the intercooler, it's gonna be the way I do it, not so much the politically correct way. So It's going to be using zip ties, not any bolts or shit like that. But it's going to be the basic way of I doing it. So I mean, it should work for any intercooler, theoretically. But, you know, it works. I mean, you know, using zip ties, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, they're heavy-duty zip ties. You know, it just makes it, you know, come off a lot easier and faster. And, you know, it's a race car in a sense. So fuck it, you know. I just want everything to be able to remove and install a lot easier than bolt this, bolt that, bolt this, bolt that. It's like, if I don't have to do that, then I'm not going to do it. So, you know, and I've made it work with zip ties on the intercooler for basically 10 years. So it works plenty fine. I've never had problems other than the CPE intercooler being so heavy that it causes the fucking radiator support fucking to bend. But other than that, that's it. I want to spool faster because I don't have enough headroom in the engine. Or yeah, it makes sense. But the thing is though, Roman, you gotta watch out for that. When you have a faster spooling turbo, you're gonna go lean down low on the lower RPMs. So you gotta watch out for that too. And you're putting a lot of torque through it. That's the only thing with that. Spooling too fast sometimes is not good either. So how do I stop my bumper from popping out on the sides? The cover likes to pop out. Oh, you mean the fender well? Oh, the bumper. Yeah, so I throw a zip tie, so the bumper on the sides. Yeah, so I throw a zip tie right through the bumper. There used to be a little thing that goes in there, plastic clip or whatever. I throw a zip tie and I snug it, and then I just clip the excess, and it tightens it right up, and it won't pop out on the sides. The bumper where the wheel well is. That's what I do. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. Like where the bumper, where you go to clip it in, and then you got the fender, and then that wants to pop out. Well, so there's a hole right there. You throw the zip tie through that, you know, and then tighten it up, and then clip it off, and then, you know, you just gotta, when you go to take it off, you gotta get like, you need some like wire cutters or something. I have, where are my wire cutters? I have some Irwin wire cutters, or, oh yeah, I'll show you what I have. Right here. So these are what I use to cut them off, my zip ties. I've had these for a while now. Very nice. And yeah, so works out good. Yeah, so for everybody that wants to know, that's how you do that. Yeah, it'll pop out like literally going down the road. Put a zip tie through the holes. You'll see where it is. It meets the plastic fender liner, I think. I think that's where it goes through, and then you know, the hole for the actual bumper. It works for me. I mean, that's how I fixed it. So as long as yours isn't like broken or something like that, you'll be fine. It'll work. How many turbos have I used? Let's see. So if you're talking about how many turbos I've been through, so my first big turbo was a 7163 in 2015. That was a T25 full race kit. And then, so we did that in the spring of 2015. Obviously, before that was stock turbo. And so I went big turbo at 20,000 miles, you know. And then, so I had that set up. I was tuned by Alex at Stratified from 2015 to 2019. Lost compression in cylinder one because I overboosted. You know, it was my fault, just messing around with the setup. And in, I think it was early February or late January of 2020, I contacted ATP and the guy I was talking to, his name is Arlen on email. I mentioned that I wanted to try. So the G30 770 had came out, but they weren't making the kits yet for our cars. And so I mentioned to him that I wanted to try out the G30 770 because I saw that the dimensions of it was similar to, the smaller turbos in terms of the dimensions of the size, other than the compressor housing was bigger because it was a TO4E compressor housing with a 4-inch inlet. So they said, well, he said that it wouldn't fit, yada yada. But if you want to purchase it, you can, at your own risk. I'm like, it'll work. I told them. They basically pieced it together as they would normally, but they, like I said, they weren't selling this turbo or even the G30 660 or 600, whatever it is. Yeah. So they sold me that 770. I test fitted it. It fit. The only thing I had problem was, and I actually test fitted it with a 101 AR exhaust housing. So I had to trim off. So I don't know if you can see this, probably not. I had to shave down on here. So when I originally did this, let me see here, hold on. What the hell's going on here? So I had to shave down on here for the exhaust housing to work because it was a 101 AR. And then I had to shave down on here to make the compressor housing work. So, yeah. But other than that, it worked. And I told them about it. And so, yeah, I paid full price for it, And after that point, they started selling the G30 turbos because I knew the 660 was going to work. And so, yeah, the 770 definitely works. Or I don't know. Was it G30 600? Yeah, I think it's a 600, not 660. I get confused. Yeah, so there's that. And then, so I test fitted that while my engine was bad on compression. I didn't get it tuned or nothing. But, I just basically did it for the sake of science. So, and having another option, whoops, we don't want that on there. We don't use that one. Let's see here. What the hell? Hold on a second, boys, here. Let me see here. That should be good. All right, so yeah, we test fitted the 770, and then we got rid of that, and then we bought another 7163 from Full Race in 2021 when I rebuilt the engine. And then it was a V-band inlet version with a upgraded internal wastegate. And then we got a G35 900. I still have the 7163 over there. My favorite turbo of all time for this car. Highly recommend them, but unfortunately you'd have to get a custom kit made for it now. But the G35 900, that was my setup last year. And then my ARP crank bolt that I reused fucking 100 times decided to, loosen up on me and fuck some shit up. Not too bad, but it was, it screwed some things up. So that's why we're rebuilding right now. So, and excuse me. So now I'm going with my first precision turbo, which is a PTE 5662105 AR housing, next gen. So yeah, the Pulsar turbo, you have to do the same to fit it. I'm assuming, sure, why not? I did notice when I did my G35 900, because that does have the same exact dimensions of the size as a G30 770, that when I had the RS head swap with the G35 900, it was actually not having an issue with touching the axle bracket. So that was kind of interesting, I thought. So the RS head raised it up a little bit, I feel like, or maybe I angled it differently. I don't know. But either way, you know, I don't know. I would think that if they're the same design and somewhat, you know, dimensions wise, that the Pulsars will definitely have the same issue, but it's not really a big problem. You know, the 770 is definitely a great turbo. I would recommend it to anybody, for sure. You know, it's a great turbo. I got it and I test fitted that turbo because I saw it as, okay, this is Garrett's version of kind of like what the 7163 is for Borg Warner, but it's an external wastegated turbo. It's got a 4-inch bigger inlet. Well, it's a 4-inch inlet, so it's bigger than the 3.5 on the 7163 SXC housing. And then, you know, it's got a little bit bigger AR on the compressor housing. It's got a 72 AR, you know, stuff like that. So I was thinking, you know, getting the, you know, trying out the bigger exhaust housing, maximize that. So yeah, I mean, heard that maybe HPT turbos are better than precision. I don't know, honestly. I wouldn't know. I got a precision turbo. I'm gonna try it out, see how it goes. I know they can make some good power. Um, you know, the guy that sold me his old speed performance kit, he, you know, his 5862 that he had, he beat the shit out of it a lot. Did a lot of races, thousands of pulls. I don't know how many miles, but probably over 20,000. I don't know. But yeah, so he made 620 with it. I got a dyno graph from him. 620 on E50. It was 32.5 pounds of boost with that turbo, 0.82 AR exhaust housing, 2.3 stroker, stage 3 cams, ST cylinder head. So yeah, but it was a speed performance precision kit. So, you know, those kits, man, they make some fucking power. So yeah, that's what I went with, and I have an RS manifold from Speed Performance for the RS head. If I, you know, obviously go that route, so and it might end up being that way. So I'm gonna end up bringing the RS head, getting it cleaned. I'm not using this block to build. This is my original block because I want to preserve it. I have a spare block that has 87.5 millimeter, you know, cylinder wall still. Cylinder bore is 87.5, so stock. So I'm gonna get that punched out for 88, and we're gonna go the minimal amount of clearance for what we need for the piston, the wall clearance. That way there we can rebuild it if we, or rehone it, no problem. But yeah, we're gonna do that on the spare block, RS head, so I can, you know, and let me see here. Yeah, we got the cam. We got literally everything. Basically, I'm just waiting for the crankshaft. Hey, man, how we doing? Pulling with Kyle. Or, you know, I'll just call you Kyle. But how we doing, man? Just we're doing the same thing. It's fucking Black Friday. We're chilling out. How was Thanksgiving for you? I got a 2015 Focus SD looking to go big turbo soon. Hell yeah. That's awesome. What do you got done to it right now? Yeah, I'm not planning to go 680 to the wheels, that's for sure. Apex or yeah. I'm definitely not doing that. That's way too much for me, honestly, dude. I mean I can handle it. It's just I don't wanna do that much because for one, I would need a sleeves block. Um, I myself a solid piano for hell yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, we had a big ass 27-pound turkey for Thanksgiving, so yeah, I'm pretty stuffed. Now it's time to diet down. Yeah, 450 to 500. I feel like even between 450 and well, that's probably the most reliable range right there, even for a built motor, 450 to 500. Because the engine, even with a built motor, it's going to last longer with lower horsepower. But if you go past that 550 mark, man, it's just like the reliability just goes out the window. You know what I mean? I don't care who does the job. Not much done to it. I'm actually damn near stock by researching wet turbo. Well, okay. Well, you came to the right place, Kyle. I would recommend checking out the video series. A couple of them I've made. I don't know if you have yet. So the best mods for your money and reliability 2025 edition. I would go check that out. There's different stages. That will set you up for a very good base, like for your, whole car. It creates the base, like basically the base layer what you want to start with, and then there's a video series for the best turbo selection. I'd go check that out. You know, depending on what you're wanting to make for horsepower, I could tell you right now what turbo and stuff you'd need. Um, and if you want to, but yeah. Hey, Birch, how you doing, man? Dylan, how we doing tonight? Let me know on it at 20. Yeah, that's what the part I was having trouble on picking support mods. Because yeah, I just don't understand the turbo talk. Yeah, I mean, okay, depend on like what's your horsepower goal, like overall, and obviously you probably don't want to build your engine anytime soon, because that costs more money. I personally, it depends if you want to go external wastegate or internally wastegated. Basically, what that means is the internal wastegate, you don't get the sound of the external, and it would basically be like stock, but it'd be obviously made for the bigger turbo. I would say if you want to go internally wastegated, the 2867 Gen 2 Garrett, or if you want to go Pulsar, whatever, something like that size, that would be the way to go. That turbo can make up to 450 at the wheels, no problem on E85 or E50, whatever. That being said, I wouldn't push that much with a stock engine, so I wouldn't go past the high pressure fuel pump limits personally, just if you want to keep it reliable, especially with a stock clutch. Um, if you want to upgrade an intercooler is where I'd start first. Catalyst downpipe, if you can obviously do it in your state and get away with it. Catalyst downpipe and, upgraded intercooler. I would say go to cvfab.com and use my code BB5. You'll actually save some money and also supports me by because I'm affiliated with them. Does that bolt on stock? Yeah, it does, 100%. Yeah. Um, but here's a link to cvfab.com right there. So go check it out. I recommend the CV Fab intercoolers to everyone. Like they're better than the CPE ones personally. They can handle up to 700 at the wheels. They're 10 pounds lighter than the 5.5-inch one, and they're made in the United States, fully handmade. Same as the You know, I wouldn't really upgrade your charge pipes yet. I would hold off on the charge pipes. I would get the intercooler upgrade and the catlet, you know, get the downpipe upgraded first. And then if you want to upgrade your intake, you don't have to, but I would at least say upgrade to a drop-in filter, AEM drop-in filter, or if you want to do like the whole fucking thing, I like and I really recommend it personally. I've had a lot of intake setups for 13 years of owning this car, and so I'd say the AFE Pro Dry intake kit is actually probably the nicest one out there personally. I mean, I almost think 90% of you or 99% of you guys would actually probably agree with that. It's just a very clean setup. It's got a wrinkle black intake 3-inch pipe. It's got a very nice, and you can get a cover for it that's separate. What I have, and you can email me, Kyle, too, or I have a Facebook. It's WhiteBlurrst on Facebook, or you can email me at WhiteBlurrst. It's 2 R's, just like on here, at gmail.com. So, if you have any questions, like if you want to talk more after the stream, you know what I'm saying? Because it'll be better to do it that way just because we can communicate better. Obviously, I appreciate you up in here. You know, but yeah. The hard charge pipe sucked to install. Skip, so skip it unless you need it. Yeah, I would say the best charge pipe upgrade is going to be the silicone charge pipe on the cold side. It only requires 2 clamps. It's very easy to upgrade the silicone cold side pipe, and then get the you know, I like a Mishimoto hot pipe, and then have a blow off valve flange welded on there, like I did. Anywheres that would work basically for like a tile. Get a tile flange, and then I like the you don't have to do this, but I mean, the same. If, um, or you can get the ESP, you know, fucking hot pipe. But oh fuck yeah, no, honestly, I ran stock charge pipes with fucking 520 at the wheels with my 7163 on no, not E85, it was one E50. On E85 in 2024, a lot of you guys probably didn't know, I was running stock, well, okay, I was running the stock hot pipe, I was running a silicone cold pipe. So the hot pipe was stock because my other Mishimoto one, or no, I didn't have the Mishimoto one. I had the 3P performance one. It wouldn't fit my 7163. So I reused the OEM one, and it held up fine, didn't blow off or nothing. I was pushing 29 pounds of boost, and you know, making like 520. You know, with stage 3 cams, built 2.0. It was pretty insane. That was like the end of the cycle for the built 2.0 version. Yeah. I mean, yeah, stock charge pipes can handle quite a bit, believe it or not. It's just the rubber obviously can flex, and over time will probably blow out or crack. Um, that being said, it's not one of them things that you need right now. I would say intercooler, downpipe, intake setup. You know, obviously, you know, MBRP exhaust or something like that. Get like I would recommend stainless steel. Just get stainless steel over there, especially if you daily it. If you don't daily it, then you don't need stainless steel. You know, but yeah, yeah, the ESP hot pipe is definitely worth it. It's like $180. Wait, and that fucking everything has to. How did that fit? Or by the way, Roman, did it fit okay for the turbo or? Let's see, Dylan, the stock cold If you do want to upgrade, I'd do the Mishimoto since it's flexible. Yeah, the Mishimoto one I think is the best hot pipe available because it reuses the design of the stock outlet for the compressor side, like that elbow. It's very nice. It's so compatible. I literally use that same fucking hot pipe on my EFR and my G35 900, my 770. Like, it's not supposed to work with all those different turbo kits, but it does because it's like a stock located version and it just works with fucking what I had. You know, the only thing it's not going to work with now is my PTE turbo. So I'm going to have, I'm thinking of getting, so that elbow, I'm probably going to have a custom silicone one made from 2.5 inch to 2.5 inch. Hopefully it works. Are you in a stock turbo location or did you do? No, I'm stock location. The Sidewinder stuff is just way too fucking expensive. You know, especially the ones that are out there that are just over $3,500, $3,000. Like, it's just way too much money for a stock engine. Like, a Sidewinder kit is nice. I'd want one. I still want one, but it's like I'm not gonna spend that much money if it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? No, well, yeah, okay, yeah, it does, but like any turbo sizes that we have that we can make work back there, you don't have to worry about it. Like the only like the Sidewinder kits, if I wanted to get a bigger EFR turbo than the 7163, because those are big ass turbos, like anything past that 7163 for an EFR Borg Warner, I would have to do like a Sidewinder setup because there's such a long turbo. They're bigger than the normal size ones. Other than that though, like you can fit like a 6870 precision turbo in the stock, like not, I wouldn't say stock location, but it is stock location, but it's angled a little bit differently, you know, especially for the speed performance kit. But it is still stock location in a way, but you cannot use the stock downpipe. Like that location of it, you can't use that. You'd have to get the downpipe made for that turbo. But what's nice about the ATP style kits or like the Pulsar ones or whatever, you can use the CV Fab downpipe as long as it has that adapter. And that's why I say, like, I can send you a link now. Let me see here. For the 2867, if you want to check it out. ESP sells them the cheapest. But I would get the intercooler and downpipe first, personally. Let's see. Yeah, you don't. I mean, honestly, like a Sidewinder is cool and all. You have better access, yada yada, whatever. It looks cool. It's just there's no gains from it. You know what I mean? There's no gain other than you just fucking it looks cooler. But let's see here. Well, I've actually heard, so I've heard that what you're saying, Kyle, but I've also heard that it really doesn't make much of a difference in spool time. The Sidewinder really, you don't really lose a whole much. Street cred or points, yeah. I think I've gotten enough street cred around here because nobody wants to fuck with me, so you know. I kind of have to like go outside of my area to mess with people these days. Copy link address. So here is a 2867 Gen 2. But like I said, go check out my videos. It's the best best turbo selection series. You'll like learn so much about turbos just by watching that series. The 2867, and it's the proof is in the pudding. The 2867 Gen 2 Garrett is the best-selling turbo ever sold. That's a big turbo for this car ever. Like it's still the best-selling turbo. Well, probably not now, but it was, and it still remains as the most popular choice for the Focus ST. And if you look at the views, it'll actually reflect that too, which is interesting. But here is that right there. So Elliott Specialized Performance has the best prices for the legit turbos in terms of the Garretts. So $1,970 for a 2867. I would select the bigger AR, the .86, so you have more headroom in the future if you ever decide to go more horsepower. Before I purchase mine, send you. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And that's what I recommend. Like, I'll get guys like will contact me on Facebook or email, and we'll kind of go through the lists that you have and see what works. Because, like I said, I've done a lot of stuff for this car in terms of like different intake setups, intercoolers, downpipes, turbos. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done a lot of different shit. And so I know what works, what's best, and for certain setups, certain horsepower and all that, and spool and all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, it is exactly right. Roman, you're exactly right. 100%. But yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely talk more. Just if you want to shoot me an email right now and I'll respond to it, or contact me on Facebook Messenger, you can go ahead. It's WhiteBlurrst on there as well. It's so just 2 R's and then space ST, and you'll find me. And I'll respond. So yeah, I'm usually up pretty late, so no big deal. What's the 20s? 450, I would say, is the max range. I'd say go with the bigger AR, exhaust housing AR, which is basically going to allow you for less back pressure. So back pressure is really bad. Like heat and back pressure are bad for these cars. First of all, your weaknesses are your cast pistons. Those can go at any time. And then the cylinder head exhaust side cracks. That's known to happen at any horsepower level. And then, it's just a Ford problem. And then also, how you set your car up early on. Like, for example, I still have my original cylinder head. I've never cracked it. Whereas there's a black ST that I rebuilt. That guy that owned it literally cracked his cylinder head on his car. He cracked 2 of them within 10,000 miles, but he cracked the first one on the original engine with 151,000, and then he cracked the other one within another 2,000 miles, and it was on a different engine. They replaced it, and because they thought it was a bad engine, and they replaced the engine with a 51 or 48,000 mile engine. They put a couple thousand miles on it, and they literally cracked the cylinder head on that one. And the reason was he had a stock downpipe, he had a stock intercooler, he had an upgraded exhaust, but that doesn't really matter. And he had it tuned. He had it tuned, and all that excess charge pipe or charge temps for the heat reaching over 150 degrees, and then the excess heat coming out, built up by the exhaust gases and the back pressure getting created. Back pressure equals more heat, So when you have, the stock downpipe, it's literally restricting your turbo. It's an EPA thing, whatever. It's restricting your turbo, and the more flow or free flowing exhaust that you can have, the better your turbo is going to perform. You do not want any back pressure whatsoever, because your turbo will spool faster, it'll perform better. The faster that you can exhaust your exhaust gases from your turbo, the better your car is going to run. So it's going to have less back pressure. That means it will make more boost more efficiently. So you can actually down tune it and make more horsepower at a lower boost level, believe it or not. Let's see. Hopefully you understand that. But yeah, we can work with your list, Kyle. The intercooler from CV Fab is $475 out the door, no shipping or taxes. You either have a choice of black or silver. That's with my code. So, and then the downpipe is catless is the $200. It's like probably $190 with my code. Okay, wait, let's see here. Wait, hold on. Let me read this. Hillside Auto Service. How you doing, buddy? Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving. I'm on my third set of cams. What? Why? That's crazy. Why are the cams eating the lifter buckets? I've done all the new buckets with the last set of cams, but clearance is right in the middle of the spec. Is there an issue causing this? Wow, really? So you've spec'd out. Did you do it like the right way? Did you watch the video that I had when I did mine? Because there's a video that I released, I think it was last week, about how to actually do this properly, how to spec out your buckets properly. So I don't know if you've watched that or not. But yeah, is there any fix for pre-detonation on low RPM? No, dude, honestly, running a really good oil, I run AMSOIL, and that's supposed to have 100% protection against LSPI. The thing is, yeah, go check that out. Auto service. Hopefully it helps. I don't know. The specs I was using was based off the Piper cams, but it's still going to work in terms of whatever the Ford specs you're using. There's a bigger, broader range for that. There's got to be something going on there. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. So did you switch around the cam, the cam cap or the cam fucking journals, like the journal caps? Did you switch those around at all, or get them from a different cylinder head, or do you have them where the numbers are facing outward? So they have a intake number 2, 3, 4, 5, or some shit like that. They have them. You want those numbered. They're etched in. They're laser etched. You want them facing outward. So basically, where your intake side is, it's going to be facing toward you, and then on the exhaust side, it's facing toward the firewall. You don't want those, mismatched. And then also another thing could be, if you did get the let's see, brand new cylinder head because the original one was cracked. Exhaust, yeah, dumping oil or coolant probably. I'll send you on my list soon after I shower. I'm about to install radium. Okay, hell yeah, man. Went for Ford service. Okay. Any facts? Yeah, so to answer my time will shine, I would say honestly, just don't fucking wide open throttle your car below 2,500 RPMs, or between 2,500 and 3,000. If you have a good spooling turbo, it's no big deal. Like fast spooling, but because it's direct injection, that's why we have the LSPI problem, and we have fucking literally we have cast pistons. So that's like the number one weak point, and then it's the cracking the cylinder head, and then it's other things. The rods can handle up to 450 maybe, sometimes even less than that. Nah, it definitely nah. It's definitely not the tune by Stratified. It ain't gonna be the tune at all, as far as that goes. No, that wouldn't be it. It wouldn't be any. No tune is gonna cause a mechanical problem like that when it comes to the cam wearing out like that. Cams. Um, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. Is it wearing out more on the exhaust side cam, or is it the intake, or is it equally like? And what do you mean by it's wearing out? Like it's wearing the buckets? Like I have buckets right here. I can show you what they look like. Um, I mean, I'll show you what a normal bucket looks like that's been worn in. And I don't know what you consider like bad, but I mean, this bucket is still good right here. It's got little swirly marks on top, and then the inside looks fine. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, I mean, that's still a good bucket. I don't know what yours looks like, but I think you're saying that the buckets were wearing out or something. Wearing the cam profile, oh, and etching. Okay. How much was it wearing? Like, I mean, what oil are you running too? Like, what kind of oil? Oh, you know what? Do you have a Ford service manual? Like, are you tightening down the cam caps, for all that hold down the cams? Are you tightening those down per the Ford manual, like equally? You know what I'm saying? You can't, because you want to make sure you're doing that properly as well. There's a process in doing that. I would also recommend, I mean, I'm a dealer tech, I generally build 10-speed transmission. Yeah, I mean, I recommend, I don't know what your setup is. I like running 550. I ran 550 on my ST when I went big turbo in 2015. I ran the 5W50 AMSOIL, and my bearings when I took them out, as I overboosted the car in 2019, switching a setup around. This is my fault. And then when I tore the engine apart, the bearings had basically almost 50,000 miles on them. They literally looked like brand new because I used AMSOIL from the start, and changed the oil properly and all that. But I ran 5W30 stock turbo, and then I moved to 5W50 because that's what the RS runs too. But other than that, it really doesn't matter. The clearances are fine and all that. So there was literally no wear on the bearings at all. They look brand new. It was insane. So I mean, I don't think going to the 5W50 is going to really matter in your situation. I would say I mean, if you're putting everything together right, maybe it needs a line hone, maybe a line honing the bores on the cylinder head. Maybe something's off on the cylinder head and it needs to be a line honed by a machine shop. That's possible. That's probably the only thing I would say. If everything else is done properly, spec'd out properly, and you're doing everything proper, then it might need an align hone. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what's gonna need. Just because you know what I'm saying. That's really. I mean, what else can it be? You know what I mean? I just don't like. What else is it gonna be? I mean, you know, fucking shit. That sucks too. It's a brand new head. Yeah. What do you have done to your car? What do you have done to it? But yeah, Kyle, I'll talk to you after, buddy. You can just give me a shout out, or not shout out, but a shout later on. But yeah, my time will shine. Hopefully, I answered that question in terms of that goes. You know, running a oil, you know, that's good. Don't obviously wide open throttle below 2,500. Obviously, water methanol actually helps preventing that stuff too. Water meth is really good for detonation and all that shit. But yeah, I mean, I ran water meth from 2015 to, you know, currently, basically, even though I don't run it a lot now, but I used to. I'll run a new cylinder head with the stage 2 cams. I verified the oil coming up. Oh, so you're running stage 2 cams. So you're not running stock cams, you're running stage 2 cam. Oh, whoa, hold on a minute. Okay. So you're running upgraded camshafts, not stock cams, right? Or are you going to run stage 2 cams? Because if you're running upgraded camshafts, you can't run the OEM clearances. That's not how it works. So you have to, I have the spec sheet for the Piper camshafts. I can give them to you. And it's actually in that video also. I mean, I can link it. Here, hold on. I'll link the video. So, I mean, if you want to watch it here, it's a short video. It's only a 3-minute video. You know, so it's right here. It's actually gone 7,000 views since I posted it. So at least, if anything, just share it and fucking like the video. You know, that's all I ask is like the video. Any of you guys like the videos? That helps a lot. It spreads the word. So here is here's the valve lash video. Let's call that. And it has the specs on there as well. Yeah, dude. Fucking, yeah, exactly. So, okay, if you're running upgraded cams, I'll give you the specs right now. I have the specs for this Piper cams. I'll help you out. No problem, man. This is why I'm here. Fucking right here. So, whoops. So here is the Piper's, all the cams for the Fords. Here's the 2.0 EcoBoost right here. So for stage 2, it's 10 thousandths, 0.010, 10 thousandths on the intake side, and it's 14 thousandths on the exhaust side. Okay. And for stage 1, 3, and 4, it's 10 thousandths on the intake side, 10 thousandths of an inch, and 12 thousandths of an inch. I don't know why stage 2 is much like different. And literally they don't have a range. They just give you 10 thousandths and 12 thousandths. That's literally it. So, okay. So you're probably noticing what I noticed because I ran my stage 2 exhaust cam in 2021 with, I didn't valve lash it. Like I checked the lash and it was pretty tight, but I got away with it. I did notice scuffing, but it was actually not scuffing the cam. It was actually oil scuff. So it was actually oil buildup on the cams. And it was causing like these scuff streak marks, but it wasn't actually scuffing the cam, if that makes any sense. But yeah, you're definitely running them too tight probably. They're probably tighter than what I ran. But yeah, so 10 thousandths of an inch intake side, 14 thousandths for stage 2 cams. And then go check that video out. I linked it in there. It literally shows it up close. It's it's way better, and it shows you how to properly valve lash. I have all my spec'd out brand new buckets right here for literally my stage 3 cams. So yeah, I'm glad we figured that out. That's kind of crazy. I didn't, now that I got the whole picture, see, as long as I get the whole picture, I can kind of put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, so I appreciate you coming on here, and hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving and whatnot. Sucks because I ordered the cams and none of that information was included. Yeah, it's never included, unfortunately. You have to email them to get that information. And yeah, it's kind of weird that they don't include that, honestly. Oh, also, did you upgrade? Okay, so another thing, did you upgrade the springs, the valve springs? Because okay, so when you upgrade to stage 2 or higher, you have to run. I recommend the Piper single spring valve spring kit. So it's this right here. So these right here. That's what I recommend. So these are good. These are what you want for valve springs, because you cannot run the stock springs with an upgraded. Anything past stage 1, you can't run stock springs. It just doesn't work. So that could be also another reason. Maybe it's bouncing around too fast or some shit with this softer spring, and it's causing it to do that too. I don't know, but I mean, you paid $1,200 for the cams. Oh, okay. Just want to make sure you had the springs. So I'm like, damn. Yeah, it's like 1,200 total probably for the both. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I got my springs and cams through Speed Performance, so yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, if anybody's interested, I have 3 upgraded purge lines available right now. We're doing a Black Friday deal. So normally we do a deal for group buy deals. Like basically every month we have a group buy sale, and we do about 4 or 5 upgraded purge lines per month. And for the whole month of November, I've been doing a Black Friday deal. So you're saving even more. So generally these would cost $300. They cost me about $210 to make one, and it basically eliminates the purpose of ever having to ever replace the shitty OEM Ford purge line and dealing with that bullshit ever again. And then it's also, I recommend it if you're gonna up the boost and go bigger turbo and all that good stuff. So, and it just looks better in the engine bay. You eliminate all the clutter on the intake manifold, and it kind of goes in between the intake manifold and the engine. I have videos on that as well. So no problem, man. Oh, you're good. No problem. Will shine. Time will shine. Let's see. Listen, while workout driving and potentially going around. Anything I should look at for red flags? Make sure it runs. Obviously, how much are they asking for it? Obviously, if you can compression test it, or is there proof of compression? Yeah, everything that Dylan said. Obviously, rust. If there's any bad rust on the vehicle, or issue, and then there's too stiff. Yeah, yeah. No problem, man. I'm glad I could help you. Auto service. So yeah, rust, compression. I mean, if it runs, look for, a lot of white smoke or whatnot coming out of the exhaust. Um, you know, for that year and that amount of miles, I would say $5,000 is probably on par for that if it's a good, clean car for that amount of miles. Otherwise, I'd say like no more than $3,000 if it's needing some work, depending. Um, you know, that black car, for example, I paid $3,200. It was a 2015. I had 151,000 miles on it, but I had a 50,000 mile engine, but with a cracked cylinder head. I replaced the cylinder head and put a 38,000 mile cylinder head on it and fixed some other things up, and just kind of nitpicked through it and rebuilt it. Built the engine because the cylinder walls were rusty. Also make sure the car hasn't been sitting for a prolonged period of time because the cylinder walls will get rusty. Okay, this car had rusty cylinder walls because it got fucking rain. It was like in the intake pipes or charge pipes and shit like that. So maybe that's why it got rusty faster. But make sure it hasn't been sitting for too long, shit like that. Make sure it runs, shifts good. With that amount of miles though, I mean the clutch is probably gonna be on its way fucking out if it's an original clutch. The clutch that came out of this car that had 151,000 miles, it pretty much it needed the clutch replacement. So getting a Luke clutch from Rock Auto, the RS one, that's the way to go. It's like $200. Shit like that. Like, I mean, it'd be a good project car either way. I mean, you're gonna want to do some stuff to it. The basic intercooler, downpipe mods, probably an exhaust for your choice. I'd recommend NBRP for a good starter exhaust for the money. It's the best probably for the sound. Um, you know, um, depends how much you want to go into it, how deep you want to go get involved. You know what I'm saying? Are you good with your hands? Can you do some work on your own with it? It just depends on how mechanically savvy you really are. You know, it's not hard though. You can learn. I mean, I learned everything I did myself, and kind of worked my way slowly and learned more and more as I went. So I never had a mechanic background or any shit like that. I just learned by modifying my car and eventually started doing everything on my own. With the pretty much basic common sense, and if you're good with your hands, like and you want to you can get dirty a little bit, and you can do what I do basically, and same thing, get it done and build it to your specifications, and yeah, it'll run better than ever. So yeah. But yeah, so anybody that's new up in here and doesn't know, I'm doing a 2.4 stroker build. We have an RS head swap that we're doing. We're doing a Precision 5662 Next Gen with a 105 AR exhaust housing, stainless steel exhaust housing. It's got a ceramic coated CHRA, so the center housing, and then it's got a ceramic coated exhaust housing. It's silver, and also we have the RS manifold from Speed Performance. We have the Speed Performance Stage 3 custom spec cams for the 2.4, 2.5 kits that they make. We have the 2.5 Duratec crankshaft that I sent out to EMS to get keyed, the 5mm keyway. Excuse me. 5mm keyway. We're getting the sprocket, all that keyed. It's going to be a split key design. Bolt-on stuff I can do, but if I did get hitting you up for purge line, hell yeah, man. Yeah, just contact me at whiteblurrst@gmail.com. It's also pinned at the top in the messages, and then also I definitely recommend remote tuning. I recommend Stratified, or Alan's good at Edge Auto Sports. Ryan's really good at EMS. Then definitely I like Cobb. I like the Cobb stuff just because you can monitor everything really nicely on there. You can monitor up to 6 things, 100%. The Cobb programmers, I like it. I haven't messed with anything else. I hear the HB tuner stuff is pretty good. I just don't want to go that route right now. So I like the Cobb stuff really good. So that's all I've had since 2014. Obviously the CV Fab intercooler, downpipe, then you can save some money using my code, and let's see, fucking basic stuff, man. If you wanted to stick with the OEM charge pipes for now, that's no big deal. I would highly recommend upgrading the PCV plate to radium. At least get that with the the barred fitting check valve, and then get a also for any of you guys in here, get the UPR breather, valve cover breather. Like that's one of them things you probably really want to do. It eliminates, so it releases excess crankcase pressure, especially for the fact that some people have had issues with the radium PCV plate with the newer design check valve that they have. I see that they changed the check valve, so it's a little bit more restrictive, and it's causing crankcase pressure issues, apparently. I don't know. I think it's more of a facelift issue than a pre-facelift, but anyways, yeah, if I can get a catch can, probably like the Damon one is really nice. I'd say that's probably one of my favorites, the Damon one. Or if you want the radium ones are going to be the best, but they're really expensive, but they are probably going to be the best because they're free flowing or whatever shit. They're basically like a copycat of the improved or whatever. What is that one? That one that's really good there. Not improved racing, is it? Is it improved racing? Some shit like that. Yeah, it's improved racing catch cans. They're like a free flowing catch can. They got a patent on it. The radium one is the closest to that design. So, trying to figure out what car that is. There's some loud ass car nearby. Got some pops to it. Huh. But yeah. So get a Cobb programmer, but then you're gonna want a tuner. So I would recommend Alex at Stratified, right there. Or by the way, I'm not sponsored by nobody. Just so you guys know. What makes it different? Well, okay, so the pre-facelifts are actually built better. That's one difference. And what I mean by that, if you compare, I found this out actually over the summer because I had the facelift that I was rebuilding. And so while we were buffing the fucking roof of the facelift, the black car, the Dark Knight ST, the roof was like wanting to, like the metal, the sheet metal was like just caving in. Like it was literally, you buff it and it was like just so thin and shit. There's like no support. And then when we messed around, we did it on my white one, which is pre-facelift. It literally had no give to the metal at all. It was like way more solid, and there was actually like support in there. So I don't know what the hell they did there, but that's just one difference I've noticed. Support, like structurally, that's what I've noticed is a difference. And then obviously, the ECU is different throughout many years. And then also the biggest thing I see a problem with is the valve cover PCV line that goes from the valve cover to the intake pipe. It has the sensor, bullshit sensor, by the way. So that's what the facelift has. The pre-facelift doesn't have the sensor. It has the hose, but it doesn't have the sensor. So that sensor, I actually had an issue with that on the black car, and I had them delete the sensor to where I don't have to run it in line. I just pushed it off to the side, and literally they can just disable that sensor, so you don't actually technically need that. So if any of you guys want to know, you can actually have that sensor disabled, so you don't have to worry about that nonsense. So that, that there, the blocks and shit are the same. The only difference really in the design of the block, or not really the block, but the oil pan. They went cheaper with the oil pan design. They didn't have the holes drilled out for, they didn't have as much baffling. The pre-facelifts had baffling from the stock factory setup, standpoint, I guess, if you want to call that. So the facelifts didn't have baffling built in. So basically, if you want to go upgrade your baffles for your balance shaft delete and all that, but by the way, you don't have to upgrade the baffles to do a balance shaft delete. That's just a combo thing that everyone recommends, but you don't have to do it. It's just recommended if you autocross or whatever, road course, all that nonsense. But anyways, the facelifts don't have baffles really in their oil pans. So when you go to upgrade to an actual baffle, you have to drill out and tap the holes that normally wouldn't need to fucking mount up that friggin' baffle. But where on the pre-facelift, on like my white car, I can literally take off the OEM baffles and then use the OEM screws or bolts and literally thread it in to the same spots that they would normally be. So that's another thing. Obviously the looks of them are different. It's pretty obvious. Transmissions, all that shit's the same. Mounts are the same. It's just some things here and there, but other than that, turbos are the same and all that shit. Block design, same. Cylinder heads, same. Internals, all the same. Yeah. So, but it seems like it's a very common thing for the radium PCV plate to throw that certain code that, by the way, I got with that valve cover hose, that line, that threw the same exact code as the people are having the issues with the restriction of the radium PCV check valve. And I actually contacted Radium about it, and they're saying that's bullshit. That's not a flow issue. It's, yada yada, whatever. And so obviously they're going to say that, but I think the actual cure to that problem is fucking the UPR valve cover breather. So that eliminates a lot of that problem, excess crankcase pressure. That was like one of the first mods I ever installed on my car. It was the back then it was the CFM breather, and they still make them, but they're not as good. The CFM is they make them. The UPR one has more baffles. It doesn't spew out oil like the CFM one did, so you don't have to worry about it. It's got a check ball in there, so when you're under vacuum, it plugs it off. Under any kind of boost pressure, it doesn't blow out boost. It just blows out excess crankcase pressure. So under boost, you build up crankcase pressure in the block, so that relieves that excess pressure. Because otherwise, the only other way to do that would be to fucking run a secondary breather style catch can off your PCV plate, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Off a catch can, which I do as well. I have both. I run 3 catch cans. Kind of crazy, but I do. So I run a valve cover breather catch can. I run a catch can, the main catch can off the PCV plate. And then I run the secondary breather catch can. And I have it, you know, basically mounted up on the side of my, so I have my, my reservoir for the washer fluid deleted. So I have that mounted basically in that area. That's where and then the secondary port, because it's a non-returning catch can. So I have a one-way check valve, and it's got -10 push lock fittings, 5/8, fuel hose, and a Damon 5/8 check valve, one-way check valve. So under boost, the crankcase pressure rises, and then it'll open that check valve, and it'll literally release any excess crankcase pressure on the bottom, the clean side, basically. You got the clean side, or you got the clean side, the dirty side. So the dirty side is the front of the PCV, and the clean side is on top. So I'm doing it on both ends. So, you don't have to, but when you're a built engine making 500 plus horsepower, it's definitely better to have it, safe than sorry. But yeah, it didn't cost much. And then my secondary port, like I was going to say, because it doesn't have a return line, it's just a one-way deal. It has a plug on the return port, so you don't have to return anything. Might do that. Be with my trip for a second. Yeah. I mean, Michael, honestly, if you have the UPR valve cover breather, I'd say you're okay. I'd be, it's $70. I would say get that first. I think it'd be honestly plenty happy enough with that. Try that out if you haven't already. Anyone, I'd highly recommend it. Like the UPR, you can get it from Tune Plus. Here, I'll UPR Focus ST, UPR breather. Let's see here. Boom. Here's the breather. UPR breather. There we go. Hell yeah. Oh, shit. I have been going to bed earlier than normal, so I've been going to bed around 10:30, 11 o'clock, so I won't be on too long tonight. I'll probably be on for another half hour. I'd say we can give her another half hour, 40 minutes here, and 3-hour stream's pretty good, I would say. And then we'll be live again next Friday, so we'll be on again. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's been a great stream. 10 likes. So if anybody hasn't given it a like yet, drop a thumbs up. It really helps the stream. Appreciate that very much. And also, if you need a upgraded purge valve, now's the time. Black Friday, the whole month I've been selling them for $250. Normally they're $260 for the group buy cost, but we're doing them for $250 out the door. And there's a install video. We use PayPal or Cash App or even Facebook Pay if you need to. And yeah, so I provide tracking, very fast shipping, very fast turnaround time, you know. So, you know, I think the only person that really didn't receive it fast was the guy that was in fucking, what the hell is that island? He was out in Guam. This guy was out in Guam. He purchased a purge line in Guam. So it's a U.S. territory. So it had to be boated there. They couldn't fly it there. They had to boat it. So it went on a boat, and it literally took almost like a fucking month to arrive, unfortunately. But I had one go to Greece, and that one only arrived in like 6 days. So that's the difference between plane and fucking boats, I guess. So, other than that, like, you know, I think the second slowest one was to Mexico, because Mexico is pretty strict with bullshit stuff like that. But that took probably like to clear it a week and a half. But normally within the United States, the 48, you know, I haven't shipped one to Alaska or Hawaii yet, so I can't tell you how fast it would be there. But normally it's 3 to 4 days. Like 3 to 4 days, you'll have it. It's USPS, priority shipping. So it's priority shipping. They literally treat it, you know, better than normal mail. So I haven't had one lost yet or any problems with any shipping. So other than the slow one, but that was on a boat, so that's why I figured the Guam. I mean, you know, that's pretty far out there in the Pacific Ocean. So, you know, I had one go to Qatar, which is near Saudi Arabia. You know, I think 4 to Canada. A lot of, you know, quite a few in the United States. You know, so yeah. But we have 3 of them ready to go now, and then we can make another. You know, if people want to buy more, like obviously we have December coming up, so we got the December group buy sale, which is $260, which is still a good deal. I mean, considering the quality and build, you know, the build quality and whatnot and what everything's going into this, like it's built by me. You know, it costs $210 to make these things. They're not cheap to make, and some of the costs for certain things have gone up because of tariffs and all that bullshit, but I haven't raised the prices of them. I've kept them the same, so that way there it stays fair. You know, and so yeah, I mean, you honestly, you're not gonna you're gonna save money in the long run. So, but yeah, we'll see here. We'll get off. Yeah, we'll get off in 5 minutes. I think we'll get off here and call it a night, honestly. But it was great talking to you all. Contact me, any of the new guys. My Time Will Shine, auto service. You know, Hillside. Okay, so yeah, just contact me at whiteblurrst@gmail.com or on Facebook Messenger. It's WhiteBlurrst. Send me a friend request if you want. Pulling Kyle, I know he's going to contact me as well with his build list and help him refine that. So, but yeah, you guys have a good night, and I'm gonna go in and relax, and you know, have a good weekend, guys. Appreciate you all.